Imagine an island lost in time, a remote outpost in the Pacific where creatures you thought belonged in myth roam freely. This is the Galápagos, and this is where, for nearly a century, a lone giant roamed, slow, deliberate, and unaware. He carried the weight of a species on his shell. This is the story of Lonesome George, the last Pinta Island tortoise. The year was 1971. On Pinta Island, one of the lesser-known Galápagos Islands, a team of researchers was on a routine ecological survey. Pinta had long been ravaged by invasive goats, introduced by sailors centuries earlier. The once lush vegetation had been stripped bare, and the endemic giant tortoises were believed to be extinct. But then, out of the brush came a movement, a slow, lumbering figure, a tortoise, large as a boulder, its shell scarred from decades of survival in a barren wasteland. They had found the impossible, a survivor.
Yeah, I'm the survivor, baby! Big win!
This single tortoise was transported to the Charles Darwin Research Station on Santa Cruz Island. He was given a name befitting his solitude, Lonesome George. Lonesome George wasn't just another giant tortoise. He was the last of his kind, a Pinta Island giant tortoise, Chelonoidus abingdoni. And George's plight wasn't unique. The Galápagos Islands, with their incredible biodiversity, have always been a hotspot for ecological vulnerability. Sailors in the 18th and 19th centuries hunted tortoises by the thousands for meat, and invasive species like goats, rats, and dogs devastated native habitats. By the time conservationists turned their attention to the Galápagos, it was almost too late. But George's discovery sparked something, a rallying cry for conservation. The first question researchers asked was, could George be saved? Efforts began immediately to find a mate. Conservationists scoured zoos, sanctuaries, and wild habitats for another Pinta tortoise. None were found. Then they got creative. Female tortoises from closely related subspecies were introduced to George's enclosure. But George, well, he wasn't the most cooperative bachelor. Attempts to encourage mating became awkwardly elaborate. Despite decades of effort, no eggs ever hatched. George remained the last of his kind. But George was more than a tortoise. He became a symbol, a living embodiment of the fragility of life on Earth. Visitors from around the world came to see him. Children learned his story in schools. Conservation organizations used his name to raise awareness for endangered species. George's life highlighted a critical message: extinction is forever. But his story also sparked global efforts to restore the Galápagos. The invasive goats on Pinta Island were eradicated, allowing native vegetation to recover. Similar programs across the islands helped other tortoise populations rebound.
Save the other species!
On June 24, 2012, George was found lifeless in his enclosure. His passing marked the end of his species, a poignant reminder of what is lost when we fail to act. Yet, George's legacy lives on. The Galápagos Islands are now a global symbol of conservation, and his story continues to inspire new generations to protect our planet's fragile ecosystems. Today, George's preserved body is displayed at the Charles Darwin Research Station, a testament to both our failures and our potential. His story reminds us of a simple truth. We share this planet with millions of species, each playing a role in the delicate web of life. When one thread is lost, the web weakens. But it's never too late to act. So, what can you do? Support organizations working to protect endangered species. Reduce your ecological footprint. Share stories like George's to inspire others. Because while Lonesome George may be gone, his echo lives on in every effort to save our planet's wild places. This has been Echoes of the Wild. Until next time, remember, the fate of the wild is in our hands.
Hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and click the notifications button for more updates. Be sure to save wildlife and stay tuned for the next one.